This video is brought to you by Squarespace. From custom domains to beautiful websites using their easily customizable templates that you can have up and running in minutes, e-commerce, email and email marketing, SEO, analytics, and scheduling, Squarespace does it all and has done it for us for the last 10 years. If you are a small to mid-sized business in any industry, Squarespace is the place to go for all of your website needs. Hop over to www.squarespace.com/Hugh for a free trial. And if you like what you see and want to move forward, receive 10% off your first order by using the discount code Hugh at checkout. Thanks, Squarespace. The vast majority of camera and lens reviews have always been about better. Better image quality, better autofocus, better IBIS, better burst rates, EVF, battery, value, blah, 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 blah. I take some comfort in that while my reviews, of course, mention these things as well, my ambition has always been to share with you what I've learned about finding the shortest distance between intent and execution for what we do. That is, as far as Claudia and I are concerned, allowing who we are to shine through in our personal street photography work on the one hand, getting the clips and audio we need with minimal fuss, muss, or post, including the fewest takes for our professional video work on the other. For the last couple of years, however, as the rate of sensor technology advances in particular has slowed, and the gap between the merely very good and the very, very best has narrowed dramatically. This is a big thing with me these days. For me personally, beyond simplicity and ergonomics, that is hardware and software designed for practitioners, small size and light weight have become the holy grail for me. This is because now, as my body has become ever more strident in its demand that I take better care of it, that reality, which I now grudgingly accept, compounded by one, I know I talked about this, I'm going to talk about it again and again, the fact that the air travel upon which we have come to depend has devolved into a kind of Russian roulette just in terms of departing on time or at all. Don't get me started. 2, European regulations in particular, which have become much stricter and stingier about carry-on size and weight. I mean, we're talking 8 kilos for the carry-on bag and 16 by 12 by 4 for a personal item in economy or premium economy. 3, the need for more powerful laptops with attendant gains in size and weight due to the sophistication of, and our corresponding ambition for, newly powerful AI-based editing software used responsibly. Well, the odds have grown much worse that I'll either wrench something somewhere, most likely my back, or that Claudia and I will have to check baggage and then experience even air travel, from delays to canceled flights altogether, and the real possibility of equipment loss. All of which is a long way of saying, not only have our choices for cameras and lenses evolved more rapidly than at any other point in my life, but so have our choices for editing hardware. As in, making a different choice today than when I upgraded my travel computer just a couple of years ago to desktop level performance on the road with the purchase of a 2.1 kilo, 16-inch MacBook Pro M3 Max, oh baby, quickly finding it so unwieldy that I went in the other direction with an almost half the size and weight 1.2 kilo, 13-inch plain Jane M3 MacBook Air, and at wit's end after those size and weight restrictions I keep mentioning and air carriers' persnicketiness about it. Don't get me started on Lufthansa. Rediscovering the beauty and the power of my first generation, 6-year-old, almost half the size and weight of the Air, 770-gram iPad 11 Pro, including its keyboard cover. Thus enter Hasselblad's X2D 100C and their iOS-only Focus Mobile 2 editing app, just updated with Hasselblad's new HNNR. Hasselblad Natural Noise Reduction. Hey everybody, I'm Hugh Brownstone for Three Blind Men and an Elephant. And while I've spoken before about Hasselblad's HNCS, Natural Color Solution, color spelled like the Brits do, I think that color is the best in the business, although I freely admit the irony given that I'm primarily a black and white shooter. Anyway, today I want to talk to you about, Hasselblad's Natural Noise Reduction module for their Focus Mobile 2 app. Sorry, Android guys, I don't know when or if they'll ever come up with a version for you. The bottom line, Hasselblad Natural Noise Reduction does the business with processing optimized exclusively for Hasselblad files in the kind of simple, elegant, and legible UI we've come to expect from Hasselblad. For those of you who haven't seen it before, and really, a screen capture doesn't do it justice, the point is that Focus Mobile 2 is a beautiful, simple, elegant app with exposure control, color correction, lens corrections, no need to wait for Adobe, and a little bit of geometry. That's it. Nice. I also said it was fast, and so I want to show you how easy it is to just pull images, the raw images, 213 megabytes per, down from the X2D over Wi-Fi. Once the files are downloaded, the choice is which one you're going to work on first. Once you've made that selection, you click on HNNR. You're presented with just two choices, one aimed at maximizing noise reduction, the other aimed at retaining more detail. Then 56 seconds is what it took for this particular image. But of course, as last time, I'll speed it up for brevity. Finally, let's see what they look like. So I'll just cut to the chase, straight up to the Hasselblad X2D's maximum of 25,600. Yes, the irony is not lost on me that I'm doing the comparison in Lightroom Classic, but that does prove the point, doesn't it? In any event, let's just zoom in here. On the left is the raw file, and as you can see, blammo, quite a difference. What's nice is that even though you're losing a little bit of detail, at anything approaching normal image sizes and viewing distances, no one's going to see that. Just a couple of clicks. Of course, at f32, there is some diffraction. So we're seeing that as well. Still, wow. For Three Blind Men and an Elephant, I'm Hugh Brownstone. See you next time. Yeah, right. Like that was ever going to happen. The key, the larger point, I think, is to understand HNNR in context, as I've already begun to do. So let's get into it. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush. 1. While I've assembled a pretty complete X2D 100C kit because it does provide me with the highest resolution and most beautiful colors I have ever seen straight out of camera, not easy for me to reproduce in post because the colors always surprise me and delight me. I see things in them I didn't see it capture. Its 102 megapixel sensor and relatively compact body for that resolution, with one of the best IBIS systems out there, irrespective of format, allowing me to shoot at lower ISOs, carry fewer and or smaller lenses. thus stay out on the street longer and either print larger or crop the crap out of images harder than I can in either of our 61 megapixel full frame systems, this Hassie kit is not my only, not even my primary camera kit. That's because there is still a good amount of work to be done by Hasselblad, rounding out the XCD lens system with an even wider and longer lens or two, truly fixing the EVF proximity sensor, and, most importantly of all for me given what I do, dramatically improving autofocus performance and operational speed, that is, as in shutter lag, before I would feel comfortable making Hasselblad my primary kit. Although, under the right set of circumstances, going out to shoot color landscape with intent, urban or rural, it is the kit I like to use. 2. As much as I deplore Adobe's pricing, IP policies, and the fact that it has two entirely different code bases with frustratingly different functionalities and UIs for its macOS and iOS implementations, never mind the UI and functional differences between its Classic and Creative Cloud versions, my primary editing suite remains Lightroom CC. This is due in no small part to the fact that it syncs across all of my devices, and because the rate at which their masking has improved is astonishing. Both offer critical value to us, especially when we're traveling, allowing us to quickly curate our images, perhaps post some of them to Instagram as a second round curation, confident that the full resolution original files have been uploaded to the cloud, where, at a later date, we can re-edit them for the larger prints that we favor. 3. It is also the case that the design brief for Focus Mobile 2 is not the same as that for Lightroom anyway. This is a critical point. Focus Mobile 2 is an app designed and optimized to be a first port of call in a more comprehensive workflow. That is to say, starting with an initial and relatively speedy wireless transfer of a select few images from the camera directly, conceptually similar to Leica's Photos app, a very good app, by the way. Where they differ is that Leica's photo apps hands off editing to Lightroom, which does make some sense for many of us, while Hasselblad's Focus Mobile 2 incorporates editing optimized specifically and exclusively for its cameras and lenses, with an interface and power consistent with what we've come to expect from the brand. Top drawer. Couple this additional functionality of Focus Mobile 2 with the X2D's 100 megapixels worth of leeway in post and its internal 1 terabyte wicked fast SSD, and blammo! No need for a laptop of any kind, and as long as the camera itself is not stolen, nearly no need for the cloud backup Lightroom gives us, at least compared to cameras relying on removable and less robust media. Which does put us here. While I do not like workflows requiring multiple packages or round tripping, stills or video for that matter, if ever I were to fully make peace with that approach, or instead Hasselblad were to create a seamless interface to a general purpose package or 3 like Lightroom, and Hasselblad successfully addressed the work still to be done on the X2D itself, although while we're at it, a world-class joystick and an optional articulating EVF would be significant upgrades. I'd really love those. I absolutely would have to reconsider my primary kit. That's really kind of it, so let me wrap it up with a recap and a few final thoughts. In ways big and small, life has intruded upon my hardware and software decision-making, especially over the last couple of years. I want simpler, the shortest distance between my intention as an artist and my ability to execute against it. But now I especially want smaller and lighter. I need smaller and lighter, without giving up any image quality. Unfortunately, for me, this now also means that the quality of a camera's autofocus performance figures prominently in calculating that distance. As it happens, though, Hasselblad has been on a roll over the last 2 years, not only with the introduction of the X2D itself, but their smaller, lighter, faster, and quieter autofocus 38V, 55V, 90V, 25V, 28p, and 75p, and 25 to 30e lenses. That is one heck of a run. The company has now turned its attention to software with the addition of Hasselblad Natural Noise Reduction Module in Focus Mobile 2, and it does the business. I like what I'm seeing. As I said earlier, it is optimized from the ground up exclusively for the 200 plus megabyte files of Hasselblad X cameras. It is optimized from the ground up and exclusively as well for iOS. And in both cases, it shows. But I would like to see more. 1. More generally, Focus Mobile 2 is not, by design, fair enough, nearly as complete an editing suite as more generalized products like Lightroom or Capture One, nor for that matter, more accessibly priced and designed products like Luminar Neo. 2. Even with its more limited scope, however, Focus Mobile 2 simply omits, as of today, masking, never mind catalog management. Both of these things are available in Lightroom Mobile, if not nearly as powerful as Lightroom Creative Cloud on Mac OS. Don't get me started. 3. Focus Mobile 2 is not as functionally rich for portraiture as the recent wave of retouching packages are, and it would be nice if some of that functionality found its way into Focus Mobile 2. 4. There are ever-improving noise reduction tools available in any number of places, not only from the comprehensive editing suites I've already mentioned, but from third-party companies like Topaz Labs. Put differently, I wish the workflow were different, perhaps more tightly coupled to Lightroom for the things Lightroom does well that Focus Mobile 2 does not do at all, most especially, I think, AI-based masking and retouching, cloud storage and syncing, and the Mac OS version. Or that Hasselblad would significantly broaden Focus Mobile 2's mandate and go after those things directly. Hey, they might even make a community of Hasselblad shooters out of it. None of which negates what I consider to be the bigger picture. First, with the HNNR module as elegant to use as the rest of Focus Mobile 2, which is to say appealingly simple, fast, automatic, and performant, I think it fair to assert that Focus Mobile 2's UI is the reference standard in the industry for dedicated camera apps, the net result of just a click or two with HNNR superior to what I still hadn't accomplished with Lightroom when I gave up and said to myself, why bother? So, kudos to Hasselblad's team. Second, Hasselblad's optimization is so good that HNNR does the business even with my relatively ancient A12X chip-equipped first generation 11-inch iPad Pro. It is fast enough, and that screen on the iPad is big enough, bright enough, and offers enough resolution to process and critically evaluate 200 plus megabyte raw files in less than a minute, which, to quantify it further, is surprisingly snappy considering that my 48 gigabyte RAM-equipped, 4 terabyte SSD-equipped, M3 Max-equipped 16-inch MacBook Pro was only 37% faster, 35.64 versus 56.54 seconds, even though Geekbench 6 pegs the M3 Max between 3 and 4 times faster. Third, taken in toto, the combination of all the new hardware introduced just over the past 2 years, and now this, a new software module within their dedicated app, suggests not only that Hasselblad is back, but has well and truly moved past its film and DSLR H-series legacy. Finally, most exciting of all, I think, fourth, it seems to me that Hasselblad has been making the investments necessary to fully build out the XCD system and is hitting its stride. This suggests to me that the company will turn its attention next to the X2D 100C itself, X2D Mark II, X3D, anyone? And depending upon how ambitious Hasselblad is about whatever nomenclature appears next, significantly broadens its target audience by going successfully head-to-head with the one other autofocusing, medium-format mirrorless ILC system out there, maybe the most premium full-frame systems as well. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. This video is brought to you by Squarespace. From custom domains to beautiful websites using their easily customizable templates that you can have up and running in minutes, e-commerce, email and email marketing, SEO, analytics, and scheduling, Squarespace does it all and has done it for us for the last 10 years. If you are a small to mid-sized business in any industry, Squarespace is the place to go for all of your website needs. Hop over to www.squarespace.com/Hugh for a free trial. And if you like what you see and want to move forward, receive 10% off your first order by using the discount code HUGH at checkout. Thanks, Squarespace.